Misfit Shop on YouTube.
What's up, Super Misfit checking in. My bad about the delays. I've been busy working with a customer on a 69 Camaro. I still got few more things I got to do to it. For some reason, I'm getting codes, transmission codes on it. It could be an electrical problem. It might not be, I don't know. We're running the 480E, so I'm gonna dig into that Monday. But today is Sunday, so I got a little free time. I'm in here working on the Camaro, and today we're gonna cover the tr6060 install into the 68 Camaro. Let's go. First thing first, make a hole. Yes, I had to cut my floor up, and I have a big phobia of cutting on my car. I hate using self-tapping screws on my car. That's how much of a phobia I have of cutting into the car, modifying any metal on my car. But you have to cut, and depending on some people say depending on what motor mounts you have, you don't have to cut. But in my scenario, I wasn't as lucky as some of those other guys, I suppose, because I mocked it up before, and man, this is pretty much everything that had to come out just to make it work. So that's where I'm at with that. Now I'm about to let you guys check out a few of the parts that I got that's gonna make this swap go smooth. I'm gonna get up under here and get to work on it after I show you guys the parts. About to go over the parts we got to do the swap, the tr6060 swap on the 68 Camaro. First thing first, let's talk about the trans tunnel. So as I said previously, you do have to make a hole. People say depending on what motor mounts you use, you don't have to do it, but in my scenario, I had to. I tried to mock it up with the stock trans tunnel, and it did not work at all. So I cut a good portion of my floor pan out. I went to the salvage yard. I cut this out. It didn't cost me nothing but maybe about 20 or 30 bucks, something like that. I cut it out, bought this. As you can see, I got a bunch of metal. I didn't really need it to be this tall, but I cut a bunch because you never know. I might have to get in there and do some more cutting out of my stuff to make this fit once I set this transmission in here today. So, and I like this little neat little hole right here. My plan is to build me a custom harness and have the harness drop down across the top of the transmission and come up here and have my computers mounted there. The custom console I'm gonna be building, gonna cover that up, so I shouldn't have too much of a problem out of that. This is the transmission Crossmember. This is a BRP transmission Crossmember. I got the BRP motor mounts. That's what I use when I do swaps majority of the time. So this pretty much all the hardware they give you to mount it up in the car. Got this from my buddies at Modern Driveline. This is gonna cover my hydraulic clutch master cylinder. So got a little weight to it. Looks quality. It came, you know what I'm saying, maybe about 2 or 3 days after I ordered it, so I didn't have to wait a long time. I also got my pedals from those guys as well. And I actually happened to come across a ACT clutch. So that's what I got up now. I'm gonna put this clutch in here. I checked my rear main seal on the car. That was straight, so I didn't end up needing to change that, but I'm gonna clean this down with some brake port cleaner before I set it in the car. And that's what we're finna do. You guys missed the part of me bolting in this flywheel, but it's pretty simple. You set it down on there. Sometimes it's a little wobbly, so it's best to have you a rubber mallet on hand so you can tap it on there so it'll sit how you need to sit. I torqued these down to 60 foot-pounds. I went in a star pattern and just tightened everything down like that. Pretty straightforward. Grab one of these bolts that we're gonna be using so I can hang it in place where it needs to be. Let's see here. Rotate it around. Yeah, this clutch is a used clutch. It's not a brand new. So, oh, that would have hurt a whole lot. It's a little ashy at the moment. Get it exactly how we need it. In a matter of seconds, okay. Start these by hand. So one of them in place. And I did clean this off with a brake parts cleaner before I got under here. So if you're using a used one or even a new one, make sure you clean it as best you can. Started by hand. Alrighty. One more up top. Alrighty. Now all of those are started by hand. It's time to go right here. Amount of torque that should go on these, but these not no big bolts, so we're just gonna see if we got at least. Let's start off at 30 just to see what we got on. That way we'll know. Waiting on my little crowbar that I got in the front to catch and lock this in place. It's snapping, so we got at least 30 foot-pounds on it. Let's go up to now we at 30 foot-pounds. And the catch about this, if you're working by yourself, try to find something that'll keep that harmonic balancer from spinning. If you can, I put a crowbar up there and slid it in sideways. So we at 30 foot-pounds on these. See if we could go up a tad bit more just to be safe. Just see what they feel like. Okay. Just went up to 35 on these. Sometimes they crowbar slips, so it's another factor that I'm fighting, but I'll get through it. So on this one, we're gonna set this one inside of our clutch alignment tool. Okay, transmission side showing. Alrighty, man. Okay, now we cut in on both of those. Now, this where things finna get a little tricky because you wanna try to hold this once you get to tightening it to where everything will sit dead center. You don't want your disc cocked at an angle or anything like that. You wanna keep them as centered as you possibly can. So, all right, make sure the surface is clean before you press it on there. So, line these holes up. Bingo. We lined up. Now this is where it gets real lit. This is gonna either make or break you. This final part right here. Gonna put all these on snug and by hand. Just making sure that everything going on straight. So we're gonna hit it with some power. You can hit them with the power tool. You can go down and make sure we got them torqued down as tight as we can. Okay. Checking the torque on these. Alright. That looking good. These just about maxed out. Alright. This is where the fun begins. This is where I ran into the problem with the plastic alignment tool. For some reason, it wasn't aligning both of the discs. So I done a little research, talked to a few buddies of mine, and that's when I realized I might need to order the part from TIC. It was a $55 part, so let's see what we get. See what we got here. The sun's shining. It's a beautiful day. Got packages coming in. What's up? What could it be? My little seat. Yeah. Pop that. This is the missing link. This is what I've been waiting on, you guys. I had a problem with the tr6060 installed with the twin disc. I'm gonna have to set this phone down and get this out this box. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Having a problem with your tr6060 installed, and it was all because I couldn't align the clutches with the little plastic alignment tool. They kept on getting out of place and stuff. It had too much play in it. So this is supposed to be the remedy for that. This is a TIC performance alignment tool. Now it appears to be the same size as an input shaft, and if it is, that should do the job. So after I align it with this, the train should slide right into place exactly where it needs to be. So hopefully it works out like that. Catch up at the shop. This is the fancy little alignment tool we just got from TIC. We done cleaned all the little grease and stuff off. It fits tight, man. So I'm real excited. I'm hoping that this gets the job done. Let's put the back one on first. We already got our plate on up there. It's clean. It's just used. That's why it look a little rough, but it's already been cleaned with the brake part cleaner. Make sure you keep your surfaces clean and whatnot like that. Help your disc survive a little better. Now I'm gonna grab this. Go up with it. Okay. Alright, we in the center hole there. Now we gotta align these lines up. Hold up. Probably tap that a bit. Now we got our TIC performance alignment tool in through both clutches. This is why our rubber mallet is gonna come back in hand because this thing fits tight. Tap it all the way in. Oh, you know we dead center. Okay. Now slap that clutch down. Remember, these will not move. I'm 100% sure this thing fits super tight. So I'm not sponsored by Tick, but I do have to give them a shout out for making this. So there we go. Those are for sure aligned. I'm not worried about that at all. The plastic alignment tool is about to go in the trash. Yeah. I'm back. Just got through spraying it down, some brake port cleaner. Gonna go back up on top of the disc. I keep saying both of the clutches, but I mean to say it's both of the discs, you guys. Okay, so you know somebody gonna be in the comments. He keeps saying the clutches, that's the disc. Of course it's the disc. So you guys are, what you guys looking at, you guys are under the flywheel, about to come above you guys and set this in place. Now let me get everything aligned. So once I lift this heavy booger up, I don't have to play with it much. All right. Oh. Get them under here. Come over. Clutch alignment too. And see how everything set how it needs to sit. Oh, now we on. So now it's time to bolt back to the Loctite on the inside of these threads. Put them on by hand to hold this baby in place right now. That's one of those. We using Loctite, use the red Loctite. I had already put some on these bolts here. Okay, so now I got 6 of these to put on, and ACT says you want to torque these down to 50 foot-pounds. So these got to go to 50. I'm about to get my torque wrench out in a minute. Torque these down to 50. That's that one. Hold that on. One more. All the way up, should be right there. Bingo. So now we got that on. All right, now that we got that down, we're gonna go ahead and torque the bolts down. Set my torque wrench right now to 50 foot-pounds. Alright, so now we set it 50. For those you guys that don't know how to work a torque wrench, I'll drop a video on that a little later on. I'm gonna lock it in. Okay, we locked in at 50. So, same scenario. 1 minute, let me see. Okay, now we got it in the tightening. Come down on this one. All right, 50 there. Shoot straight up top. Same scenario. Tighten it down on the start pattern. I'm gonna handle that. You guys get back to looking. Should be time to put this transmission in. Double click. 50. Perfect. Gonna go around, tighten it up, and then we pick up from there. Now that we got everything aligned, everything torqued down to 50 foot-pounds, we went in the start pattern, went back, double checked everything. It's time to remove the alignment tool. Oh, hit my light. Hey. Now sometimes you gotta fight with this. And bingo, there it goes. Got that out. Set this down in the box where I had all the bolts and stuff. Now comes the fun part. We're gonna get out with a tie strap. I got this from the dollar store the other day. You don't even need a heavy duty one. This should get the job done. I'm not gonna be doing nothing too heavy, so take that with us. So I'm gonna sit in here. Some of you guys already got the idea of what's going on. Some of you guys don't. So I'm gonna show you. We're gonna set this 2x4 across this hole that we cut. Now we're gonna use this to position the rear of the transmission using our $1.25 tie strap. Now let me get that together, and we're gonna pick up from there. I'm just gonna loop it in here so we can be able to ratchet it and whatnot, and then we're gonna go from there. Yes. Now I'm gonna have to do a lot of ripping and running from under the car back on top of the car, stuff like that. So basically, I'm gonna give you guys the rundown. That ratchet strap at the back is to lift the transmission up in the rear whenever I need it up in the rear. This transmission jack pretty much has 3 functions. This is so you can tilt it. You turn that, tilts it down or tilts it up in the rear, however you need it done. This is to go up. This is the lower it. So now I'm gonna have fun working those. I would record, but man, I'm a one-man army right now, so I gotta fight through this by myself, and holding the camera ain't gonna help me none, and sitting it down somewhere wouldn't give you guys much of a good view either. So I'm gonna show you guys another thing. So I got me some of these, nothing but some push rods. I'm gonna do this so that way I can keep the transmission pretty much in position. So set it there, come on top there. So see, boom, that's just to basically keep it aligned so we know we hit it in the right track and keep the transmission from rolling and rocking. So now I'm finna use those, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 functions that I got on maneuvering this thing around and get it in position. So let's see what we get. Bingo, there you have it. After a few minutes of wiggling and playing with it, it went right on in with no problems. Man, I want to give a big shout out to Tick for this tool right here, man. I had been using the rubber one for the longest, and it would not align both of my discs. Ordered this tool out here by myself. I only been out here maybe about an hour or so messing with this, and it's in. I'm so happy about that, because man, I was starting to get a little frustrated with the whole thing, messing with that rubber tool. Got all the bolts started, so I'm finna just go around and tighten all those up. So the next video is gonna go over us putting the transmission cross member under here, setting the pinion angle on this transmission. And man, I'm so happy, man. We finally got it in. I can also start mocking up the middle for the trans tunnel. So the next video is gonna cover that much. And after that, we're gonna go over and hook up the pedal, the clutch reservoir, and all of that. And man, I'm super happy, super excited. It's really made my day. got it in. I hope this video was helpful. I know it's not a lot of stuff missing for us, what all I had to do for us, me showing you guys, but I hope I gave you guys enough information to get it done. You know, for all my guys out there doing the twin disc clutch or a triple disc clutch, be sure to get that tool, man. It's worth its weight in gold. It was about 55 bucks, something like that. It took me maybe about a week to get it, and it worked exactly how I needed it to work. I put this transmission in maybe 3 or 4 times messing with the rubber tool and could never get it to seat right because the clutches weren't aligned. With this tool, only aligned it once with this, set it in there, and voila, here we go. Now these transmission lines, I did cut these because I didn't like the way they were ran. So I'm gonna run some custom lines. I'm gonna do a video on that as well. But just stay tuned, we got a whole lot more to go. Super Misfit, checking out.